warm good morning to all of you. I, Pavanveer Kaur, on behalf of City University, welcome you all to Kashmir 2.0, a joint collaborative academic initiative of Kashmir and Punjab. So first of all, a big round of applause for this academic collaboration. So again, I'm very thankful to all the dignitaries of Kashmir University that we are organizing this program in association with University of Kashmir. So again, a very big round of applause for this association as well. City University and Kashmir University. So a very first academic collaboration between these two universities.
The theme for this program, as I said, that is basically to sensitize or to make you aware about the skill-based NEP policy, which has come into vogue since 2020. But we are looking at its implementation part at the school level, at the college level, at the university level. Well, already I know our Dean Economic Affairs is very, very active on this behalf, and we have been getting in the month of March, we have been getting so many notices about that how do we have to design curriculum for our UG programs. So it has to be done at the school level, because this NEP will be successful once we put in the implementation part right from the start at the school education level to the higher secondary to the college and the university level. On this occasion, let me tell you our course, like our department, we are already running the programs which are typically in line with the NEP policy, because our course, like we are in the department, we are running MBA program, MBA FM program, and integrated MBA program. That's where the intake, where the admission is given just after +2, where our main focus is already to have an interface with not only apart from the knowledge level, but have an interface with the industry, where we are trying to give the exposure of our students with the industry. And we try to not only give them the knowledge, but imbibe the skills, and also develop the right kind of attitude so that make our students employable. So, this NEP has to be seen as a paradigm shift, moving away from the already education policies that's in vogue since 1984. So, but this policy shift was necessitated because we have seen world over changes happening, wherein people join their trades, they join their their vocations. It's typically a vocationalization of the entire education. We happen to be the part of the many board of studies, undergraduate studies meeting wherein we have framed the vocational courses. But then we thought that it needs the right kind of atmosphere. It needs the right kind of linkages which we need to develop. So those who are implementing, and we know, because I understand that there has implication on both sides, from the students community side, from the people from the school education level, from the university side, those who have to implement this program. Because we have to design the course in the manner in which we are able to achieve the basic objectives of the program, that is, apart from the knowledge, how we can link our knowledge with the society, wherein our knowledge has to be beneficial. Not simply to have a degree after 2 years, after 3 years, so then going for the research, but we need to link it up whatever we study. So that's why this program, this NEP envisages to have like undergraduate courses. We are having exit points at different levels for year 1, year 2, and year 3. But then for that we need to have a kind of atmosphere in terms of we need to develop our educational institutions. Apart from infrastructure, we need to develop them intellectually as well. We need to create the human resources, because while going through just the draft curriculum which has been put in the by the UGC just on March 17, which has been circulated by university as well, we're working on that, where we find that we even at the level 1, like at the UG level, we need to have students has to be made abreast with all types of courses like humanities, like social sciences, sciences. So even the college level, we need to develop the infrastructure plus the faculty who must be ready to deliver those courses. So since we are finding a lacuna on that part, so therefore before I say that the implication for us to first to make ourselves abreast or equip our institution with the right kind of facilities and right kind of staff as well. We say the essence will get lost if So this NEP is basically aimed at that, not only to create that atmosphere, but we need to implement it properly. Otherwise, the balance will be shifting badly. So therefore, we need to go, I can say, not simply jump it. This is my conclusion, but otherwise we are having a kind of a, impetus from the state government that we need to implement from this session, but we are working hard on that. We'll be doing that. But then we all have to also have a coherent systems for on that count from the at the college level, at the university level, because this is complete a paradigm shift. We have to do away with it. Those who are really interested in the research programs have to complete their UG programs, then have to enter 1 year PG program. So it's just typically that we have to meet the conditions and meet the standards at the international level.
A pleasure for all of us that two institutions are joining hands for promotion of a noble cause, or to be more specific, for implementation of new education policy. Personally, I am concerned with this handshake between two institutions as an responsible academic administrator of University of Kashmir. And then secondly, I have some sort of emotional affiliation with this sort of collaboration. Without taking much time, because I'm sure very meaningful and valuable deliberations are going to take place in this session, but I have some few and quick points. As regards this new education policy, one of the major features of this is that we would like to facilitate the student what is going on in his mind, what he is naturally made for, because all of us face situations when we are asked to do something, whereas something else vibrates in our minds. Once we are in a position to facilitate our students, our scholars, to just identify what vibrates in his mind, what vibrates in his imaginations. Once we facilitate him to identify that thing, I think more than half of our work is done. We identify the tunes of that drum. Once we start, say, dancing with the tunes of that drum, I think major part of our friend Dr. Tasudduq Hussain, major part of his work that is done. I think new education policy definitely will facilitate us to just get what's vibrating inside his mind. This is one aspect. So meeting the same requirement or pursuing the same thing, that what's vibrating in his mind, what he's imagining, of which we are unaware of, there is component of flexibility in this policy. We just give student ample choice. Pick up from a basket what suits your tastes. So we facilitate him to pick up from that. So not only flexibility in this sense, there is flexibility in, as we see in higher education, multiple entries, multiple exits. Say after completing 2 semesters or 1 academic session in a college or in any institution, because of varied types of reasons, the student would like to opt out, he would like to come out. Not only because of financial reasons, there can be n number of reasons. Something strikes his mind during this 1 year. I can do it outside the academic institution. He's free to go out, and he will come out with a, say, certificate in his hand. And after 2 years, after gaining some experience outside the university, in the institution, in, say, corporate world, in judiciary, anywhere, he can come back.
Decoding new education policy or National Education Policy 2020, and impact of NEP on higher education on Industry 4.0 revolution. We know how the market is changing dynamically, horizontally, vertically. NEP is the need of the hour. After 3 decades, this policy has come into existence. Beautiful policy, innovative policy, preparing students, stakeholders for innovation, creativity, entrepreneurship, placements, skills, each and everything what is required. And the most important thing is character building, holistic development of the students. And when you talk about NEP, 2 answers, they come in my mind. Number 1, empowering students with entrepreneurial and placement skills, employability skills. This will enable them to earn for their living, development of society, and development of nation. And second one, which is important, is life and human skills, which can prepare them for their life, for happiness, for well-being, which is very much required, and we all know the tough time of pandemic.
Talking something about academics and about the academic matters in University of Kashmir in front of scholars and academicians. I don't think I have that power and knowledge to express my words in front of such a galaxy of scholars and academicians. But I would definitely like to share my experiences vis-a-vis education which I have gained in Department of Education since last 11 months. I would like to endorse the views of teen academics about the optimal utilization of resources. Who are the people who use the resources in efficient manner? I will grade them as special people. In this universe, in this world, in every field of life, we will have special people, we will have ordinary people like me, and we will have black people. Special people are those who have gained such experiences by way of education, by getting themselves exposed to the external environment and the life experiences. They will never complain of deficiency of resources. And they will adapt themselves to the situations which they face. What is intelligence? The intelligent people are those who with smiling face adopt every situation in the life. Intelligence is not getting high grades in examinations or getting good jobs or running swiftly in other fields of life. Intelligence is when you do everything when you do extraordinary things with the ordinary resources and with a smiling face. With this intelligence, with this gesture, they achieve success. What is success? Success is when you get highest satisfaction in the life. Be it in the shape of farming, be it in the shape of education, be it in the shape of serving the nation. Successful people are those who are definitely satisfied in their life. And it is something about the students who have to face this world, those students who are leaving schools, then entering colleges, and then entering universities, going to professional colleges, they will be having different challenges at different stages. This education policy teaches them how they will face the situations in different environments.
The new education policy, which is thrusting on the interdisciplinary and inter-collaboration between different institutions, I am hopeful that it will go a long way to solve certain issues in the higher education. When we come to the higher education in India, you all know that India is the second world largest network of higher education. Probably when I was working in Delhi, there were some 42,000 colleges in India, and there were some 900 universities. Probably the score will be now much higher. And when we see that what is the policy of India right from the post-independence era, though in pre-independence era we had certain universities established like Bombay, Calcutta and Madras, but in the post-independence era, thrust was also given to the higher education under the leadership of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, who was the first education minister of India. So University Grants Commission Foundation was also done by Maulana Azad only. So when we go to the different plans of 5-year plans in Indian administrative system, we have seen that under the 12th plan, the last plan which was going on. So in last plan there were few thrust areas. I will not take much time. So there was in the 12th plan there was certain thrust areas which was access, equity and excellence. And then a fourth component was added to the 12th plan which was vocational education. So when we see Indian system as a whole, it's a multi-ethnic, multi-diversified and multi-geographical areas which are from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. You see different kinds of people who have different educational, economic status. So it was felt by the planners that the access and equity part is lacking in Indian education system. So when we see the world overall level, we see that there is in US or UK, we see the gross enrollment ratio of students is almost 54%. And we come to our own country, it was in 12th plan, it was just 18%. Probably it has now gone to the 28%. And the policymakers are thrusting that it should be 32% in 2022. So we have seen when we saw the access and equity component, so access was that certain people were not having access to the higher education because of the limited number of colleges and higher education institutions available in India. So a thrust was given to the establishment of colleges and other higher education institutions in India, which I was telling that it has the number of colleges has gone to the 40,000 plus now. Same way we have seen the equity component when we were seeing that there was much discrepancies, much difference between the gender. Fortunately, we see a lot of girls here in this hall, so probably now it has gone up. So when we see the equity component in the higher education or the education system in India, we see there are a lot number of gaps. We see that there are less number of gender, there is underprivileged classes, underprivileged sections of society who have less access to the higher education system. Then there was the excellence component, which thrusts on the excellence. We have certain colleges with potential for excellence, we have certain universities with potential for excellence, and we have other sources of excellence in India. But when we talk of the vocational education, we couldn't move much ahead in 12th plan for vocational education, and now there was a need to have a new education policy. As we all know that it was 1986 which the last education policy came in. So there had been a lot of transformation and a lot of changes in the technological know-how in the world over. So there was a need to change the education policy in India, and our planners have done a commendable job by proposing the new education policy. You will be surprised to know that in our own university, in University of Kashmir, any student who are coming from West or Europe, there is a post-graduation course of 1 year only. So unfortunately, we are not allowing him to go for PhD in University of Kashmir. So this was the discrepancy which is at the world level. We see that our education system is different, the education system of West and Europe is different, so there is no compatibility between the two. So there was a need to have a compatible kind of education system world over so that our students can move beyond our borders, and the students who will come from outside the country, they will also be able to go for higher education system or higher education in India. So this is the brief of new education policy. We see that Dean Academics has also already spoken out that there will be an exit policy in first year, second year, third year, and fourth year. There will be some higher education institutions which we talk that there will be some blended universities which will thrust on both education and research. There will be some research-based institutions, and there will be some technical institutions in India. So we are hopeful that new education policy will be understood first by us all, then understood by the planners and implementing agencies also, because it is a tough time. I couldn't do, most probably some students will be from and some teachers will be from colleges also. We couldn't, at present, we couldn't announce the admission for first year, second year, or third year, because first year, in fact, BSc BCom first year, because there are certain issues which have now struck to the higher education system in our own country. So there will be certain issues which the implementing agencies and executors have to take care, but I'm sure that all of us together will do good, and like the collaboration which we are doing today and which we will be doing in future also, hopefully we will understand this policy in a better way and we will implement it in a good way.
लोग हमें हमेशा पूछते हैं कि जीवन का लक्ष्य क्या है, तो उसका ये आंसर है, जीवन ही एक लक्ष्य है। हमेशा हम अपनी स्ट्रेटजीज़ पर काम करते हैं, स्ट्रेटजीज़ फेल होती रहती हैं। मैं आपको यही बताऊंगा कि हमेशा स्ट्रेटजीज़ पर काम कीजिए, ज़रूर कीजिए, लेकिन प्रिंसिपल्स को कभी मत भूलिएगा। प्रिंसिपल कभी आपको हार नहीं दिखाएंगे, स्ट्रेटजी फेल होती रहती है, ठीक है। तो बच्चों को नो डाउट आपने कामयाब करना है, लेकिन उनको हर तरह से विकसित कीजिए। अगर वो कामयाबी से इधर उधर हो भी जाए, अगर विकसित हुआ तो वो फिर दूसरा काम भी कर लेगा, दूसरे फेल हुए काम को भी ठीक कर लेगा। विकसित पर ज़्यादा ध्यान दीजिए, हर तरह से उसको विकसित कीजिए। झूठ को सच साबित करने में कोई मुश्किल नहीं आती, लेकिन सच को सच साबित करने में बहुत मुश्किल आती है। प्लीज़ इस पर ज़रा ध्यान दीजिएगा। तो मैं एक लास्ट में बात करूँगा कि जैसे हम कार और बस को या साइकिल की अलाइनमेंट ठीक करने में किसी भी वर्कशॉप पर जाते हैं, आपको खुद की अलाइनमेंट करने के लिए 2-4 चीज़ें बताऊंगा। कोई भी काम करना हो उससे पहले ये नहीं हमें इन्फॉर्मेशन मिल गई और हमने काम शुरू कर लिया। उसमें सबसे पहले नॉलेज के इन्फॉर्मेशन के बाद नॉलेज होनी चाहिए, सोर्सेज रिसोर्सेज पर काम करना चाहिए, मैन पावर क्या है, फाइनेंशियल पावर क्या है और फेलियर और सक्सेस क्या है, आखिर में एनालिसिस करके फिर उसको एक्शन में लाना चाहिए, उससे पहले नहीं लाना चाहिए। थैंक यू वेरी मच। आप इधर आए, थैंक यू वेरी मच।